What is going on, everyone? Greatest Hits here. I'm back yet with another video, and today we finally got pretty much almost everything to put the cylinder heads on the block of the engine. I say that I have everything, but you know, I bought the wrong spark plugs and bought the wrong ARP head studs, so I had to take those back, wait another week or two, I think 2 weeks, to get the right ones and make sure that I have the right ones. So this is a multi-layer VTR small block LS gasket. As long as it's like 0.55 millimeter thickness and it's in the range bore of your engine, you'll be fine. It's okay if you go over maybe a couple hundred thousandths or whatever they say, because my bore on that engine is 3.81 in inch bore, and this is 3.95 in bore. I couldn't find one for my specific engine. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but I was told as long as it's as close as can be to the actual bore of the block, that it should be fine, and you won't really have any compression issues or leaks or anything like that. So there's that. We have the ARP head stud. Let me back you guys up a little bit. ARP head studs, these are the big bad boys to put on your engine and make a crap ton of horsepower. As you can see, that's, if it'll focus, that's what the studs look like sticking out of the engine block. They're actually stronger than bolts or any kind of bolt that you put on an engine, because it gives more rigidity and stability, if that's even a word, on the engine. So yeah, we got NGK spark plugs right here, specifically BR7EF. That is the type of plug that you should get if you're making more than 10 pounds of boost to your engine, or nitrous even, because if you're making a lot of power, then this is what you need. This is what I was recommended. There's the part number up there, and nothing too special, but this is, I mean, this basically looks like anyhow, so I don't really have to take it out of the box. These are BTR springs here. Basically, you need this tool right here. Comes with 2 bolts. You can buy it from Trick Flow. If you can see that, Trick Flow right there. You can buy this, maybe not particular valve spring compressor, but a bunch of different kinds of spring compressors like this. And basically the springs go right here, like that. Basically thread these into those holes there, like the same thing down here. You thread them in like that, and you just kind of shoot them down with a ratchet or electric ratcheting tool with a 13 millimeter socket, I believe. Could be wrong on that size. And then you just thread this bolt down with an Allen wrench and make sure it's tight. And then you keep turning and turning until these springs compress down like that, and these little keepers should be able to slide through the hole and lock the valve in here. And then once it locks in, once you loosen this up, it should come up to a certain height, and that's it. These are 660 dual valve springs. I think they're standard keepers and retainers, or like, I know they're not titanium, but they're different kinds. I can't remember. I'll show you guys a part number somewhere up here or in the description below. So as you can see, the 317 heads is a bigger bore, which means you can lower the compression ratio of your LS engine depending on what LS engine you have and what piston you have. I have the Summit Racing Pro series forged piston, and my compression ratio will be 9.5 to 1, which is where I want to be, because the lower the compression, the more boost you can put to an engine, but you don't really want to lower the compression too much. But anyhow, that includes my cylinder head gasket that I got for this too, so that's just kind of combines it all together. I cleaned up as much as I could on this cylinder head. I also did some valve lapping jobs to clean up around behind the valve seat when I took all the valves out on both of the cylinder heads, and then I marked them for each cylinder. That way I don't get them mixed up, because they have wear patterns in the hole, and you don't want to do that, mixing old parts up with an old cylinder head or whatever. I took these cylinder heads to a machine shop just to get them cleaned. I already checked the depth of here. It's between 2 and 3 thousandths. So if it's over that, then you do have a problem. You're going to have to take to the machine shop to get it perfectly flat. But I think 2 and 3 will be fine for what it is. That way we don't have any cylinder head leaking issues or anything like that. So it's pretty flat as is. I'm also going to clean this decking surface like I am with the engine with brake clean. I'm not going to spray it on here. I'm going to put it on a towel and then wipe it around it. That way there's no dirt or debris on both surfaces. So I'm going to put these studs on here, and I'm going to put the cylinder head on and torque it down, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do the other side. There's no front or back label anywhere or lettering anywhere. It's supposed to be, but it's not. So I'm going to put this lettering right here on the bottom facing up. That way I know that it's on correctly. So that's my only way of knowing that this is on the right side. Make sure these washers and these bolts are dry and clean of oil, so they don't spin whenever you try and torque the bolts on this cylinder head in the block. So make sure they're clean before you put them on there. Clean off the thread of the bolt with some brake clean. Put it on the rag instead of on the actual bolt. That's just what I do. Take some ARP Ultra Torque Lube right here and place it on the thread. Like that. You don't need too much. You don't need too much, but just kind of smear it on there like so. And then thread it in the block. Now, this is the longest bolt right here, if you can see it really well. And then you have this shorter bolt goes way at the end up in here. I don't know if you can see that because of the shadow, but it goes way up in here in the corner. And same thing on the other side of the block. Right here, and then way down over here. And then you have the smaller bolts, and they go way at the top. Those are going to be the last thing that you thread in and the last thing that you torque down once you have the main bolts torqued down on the bore side of the block. Put this in. By hand, thread it in by hand, and use an Allen wrench. Thread it in all the way into the block until it stops. Do not apply any kind of torque. See how it stopped? I just kind of nudge it, make sure it's all the way in there. And that's all you have to do. Same thing with the rest of the ARP head studs. Okay, so here is the torque sequence. As you can see right here. 1 through 4, and then this 8mm bolt. The 8mm that says right here, that's for the top bolts up here. Here are the tools that you need: 3/8, 9/16 socket, 1/8, and 3/16 Allen wrench. Matter of fact, that Allen wrench that I just had, I think that is a 3/16. I'll show you this whole thing. You can pause it if you want. Alright, I'm going to throw a little bit of brake clean on here. Not too much, but just enough to clean the surface. And that's all I'm going to do. Like I said, guys, this is a budget build. This is not like I'm putting thousands upon thousands of dollars on a stock bottom end LS block. So don't expect anything too extravagant, but it's gonna make a lot of power. I want somewhere between 14 to 16 pounds of boost. Fits on there like a glove. Hell yeah. This is a 12-point nut, and then they give you a washer. They give you big washers for the big nuts and then small washers for the small nuts. The small washers don't have this stamp here. This stamp is to hold grip onto the cylinder head, and actually that paper that I showed you earlier shows the description on everything that you need to do. So this stamp here needs to be facing down on the head to grip the head. This side doesn't have a stamp, it's smooth. That's supposed to go on the flat end of this nut. So this, turn it around, and it's supposed to be on there like that. And that's how it's supposed to look. So throw some lube on this nut. It's a little too much, but it is what it is. And then throw some lube on the flat end that doesn't have the stamp on it. And literally all you have to do now, slide this on here on the stud, thread this on the stud, thread this nut on the stud, and that's it. 9/16 socket and an extension. Okay, so we're going to start off with 25 foot-pounds, and then 50 foot-pounds, then 80 foot-pounds. So do what ARP tells you. We're gonna do 80 foot-pounds now, and we're gonna use a cheater bar. I don't have a cheater bar. I have a little plastic pipe here because I can't torque these with this small little torque wrench. Now we're gonna go to 28 foot-pounds on the 8mm bolts. Okay guys, that is it for this install. ARP head studs, valve springs, MLS, multi-layer gaskets. Man, this looks really good. Starting to look a lot more like an engine now. That's about it. If y'all like this one, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'll holler at you all at the next one.